Hello, this is Diane Klein from beautiful Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and I'm here with the Fearless Online Entrepreneur Mastermind Group. And today it's going to be myself and Jody Maley, also from Canada. So it's a Canada panel today. Woo! We're waiting for our US friends to join us later. Some will join us as we go. But what we're doing is we're getting together and we're reading and masterminding the book from Jack Canfield, The Principles of Success. And what we do is we read for a while and then we talk about what we read. And we're here for everybody out there who's looking for something to become successful, to form some great habits. We are all pretty much, I think, in the same business. And what we do is we teach people and show them how to become successful in their businesses online and how to grow and how to get where they want to be in life. And this is not just a get together and read the book and stay there. It's about developing habits, about keeping your habits, and about growing every single day, because that's what it's all about. If you just stand still and you don't grow, then your business is not going to grow. If you grow, your business will grow with you. So I believe today the principle we're reading is 42, and I can maybe start reading, Jody, and then you can take over after a while.
Yeah, sure. And before we start reading, I just kind of want to, I'm going to use Diane's word, piggyback on what Diane said there, because, you know, by following books like this, it's not just about following the books, but it's putting into action what you're learning. And the quicker that you can put into action simple principles, like I know Diane and I have been really strong on doing our daily videos and masterminding together, and we are accountability partners. And I think that's actually going to be coming up pretty quick in the book about, you know, who have made millions and millions of dollars are using what Jack Canfield is theirs, really, and asked each of them, what do you use, how are you successful? And so the principles of success are taken from top people in their niche, in their market. And even I think that he has another book, but if you apply with the power of focus, even four things from any book that you read that's on personal development or what we're reading today, and develop that in the next year, you can have in your life. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so we're on principle. Can you hear me okay, Jody?
I sure can.
Okay, we're on principle 43, and today we're talking about say no to the good so that you can say yes to the great. Good is the enemy of great. Jim Collins, author of Good to Great. What a simple concept it is, yet you'd be surprised how frequently even the world's top entrepreneurs, professionals, educators, and civic leaders get caught up in projects, situations, and opportunities that are merely good, while the great is left out in the cold, waiting for them to make room in their lives. In fact, concentrating on merely the good often prevents the great from showing up, simply because there's no time left in our schedules to take advantage of any additional opportunity. Is this your situation? Constantly chasing after mediocre prospects or pursuing misguided schemes for success when you could be holding at bay opportunities for astounding achievement? When the Pareto principle, when 20% equals 80%. If you surveyed your life and jotted down those activities that brought you the most success, the most financial gain, the most advancement, and the most enjoyment, you would discover that about 20% of your activity produces about 80% of your success. This phenomenon is the basis for the Pareto principle, named after the 19th century economist who discovered 80% of an enterprise revenue comes from 20% of its customers. Stop majoring in the minors. Instead of dedicating yourself and your time to mundane, non-productive, time-stealing activity, imagine how rapidly you could reach your goals and improve your life if you said no to those time-wasting activities and instead focused on the 20% of activity that would bring you the most benefit. What if, instead of watching television, mindlessly surfing the internet, running unnecessary errands, and addressing problems you could have avoided in the first place, you use the extra time to focus on your family, your marriage, your business, starting a new income stream, and other forward motion pursuits? Sylvester Stallone's Rocky beginning. Sylvester Stallone knows how to say no to the good. After finishing the very first Rocky screenplay, Stallone encountered several producers who were interested in making it into a movie. But even though that alone would have made Stallone a lot of money, he insisted on playing the lead role, too. Even though other actors such as James Cain, Ryan O'Neal, and Burt Reynolds were considered to play Rocky Balboa, Stallone said no. And after finding backers willing to finance a shoestring budget of under $1 million, Stallone completed filming on location in just 28 days. Rocky went on to become the sleeper hit of 1976, earning over $225 million and garnering Oscars for Best Picture and Best Director, as well as acting and writing nominees for Stallone, who took full charge of his golden opportunity and turned Rocky Balboa and later Joan Ramboneto, sorry about my pronunciation, and does 3 franchises that have grossed over $2 billion in revenues worldwide. What could show up in your life if you said no to the good? How can you determine what's truly great so you can say no to what's merely good? Number 1, start by listing your opportunities, one side of the page for good and the other side for great. Seeing options in writing will help crystallize your thinking and determine what questions to ask, what information to gather, what your plan of attack might be, and so on. It will help you decide if an opportunity truly fits with your overall life purpose and passion, or if it's just life taking you down a side road. Number 2, talk to advisors about this potential new pursuit. People who have traveled the road before you have vast experience to share and hard-headed questions to ask about any new life opportunity you might be contemplating. They can talk to you about expected challenges and help you evaluate the hassle factor. That is how much time, money, effort, stress, and commitment will be required. Number 3, test the waters. Rather than take a leap of faith that the new opportunity will proceed as you expect, conduct a small test. Spend a limited amount of time and money. If it's a new career you're interested in, first seek part-time work or independent consulting contracts in that field. If it's a major move or volunteer project you're excited about, see if you can travel for a few months to your dream local, or find ways to immerse yourself in the volunteer work for several weeks. Number 4, and finally, look at where you spend your time. Determine if those activities truly serve your goals, or if saying no would free up your schedule for more focused pursuits. That it?
I don't know what our time. Yeah, that's it for that chapter. Should we just keep reading? What's our time at?
Should we it's only 09. We could discuss this and then read again.
Sure. Since we're here, we're going to make a 2-person decision. You know what? It's kind of funny that they talked about Rocky Balboa and the whole series there, and you know, the fact that he knew he had a good screenplay, Sylvester Stallone, but he had no one who was really interested in making it into the movie. And it's actually one of my daughter, who's 13, just turned 13. It was one of her favorite shows as a kid, and her and my husband would just watch them all the time, from I think the time she was like 2. And I remember once I was laying on the couch and she came up and bonked me right in the nose. And the thing is that what's great about the storyline, you know, I mean, it wasn't the best acting in the world. It wasn't even really the 100% best storyline in the world. But what made it popular is the fact that the story has the underdog appeal, right? It has that facet of, hey, you know, just because, like, never give up on your dream, never quit. Even if you get a bunch of no's, if you continue to pursue your dream, you will get a yes. And there's so many people who are afraid to jump into anything because they are scared of the no. So I really like the fact that you said, you know, divide up a paper and write out some of the things that you would be interested in and go through the pros and cons and how much it would cost you. And you know, I know that we on this panel, well, it's just you and me, but I know even when we go on to our bigger panel, that was the one common thread that I saw with all the women and all the men who are earning income is they all had that, I wonder if this will work. Maybe I'll just give it a try and test the waters. And a lot of people have started with that part-time, and now they're like you and me where it's like, I can't see myself doing anything else.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I love Sylvester Stallone. I love those movies actually too. And I remember watching them all the time too. And I'm sure I saw them all. I don't remember them all. But anyways, what I loved about it was so natural. Like I think the reason why he fought to be the actor is because he could see the picture in his mind and he could see it being naturally acted out. And he had the determination to not quit as well as the story. So that kind of came across time for everybody, and I believe that's why it became such a big hit for everybody, because it was so real and so natural, and he just fit the part so well. I can't imagine anybody else having done the same.
No, that's the thing, eh? It's like with Star Wars and Harrison Ford. You know, he wasn't their first pick for Star Wars, and now you cannot imagine anybody else being in Star Wars but him. Yes. And there's another lady, too, who really, really inspired me this year, and I forget her name. It'll come to me. I think it's Rita something. And a couple of weeks ago when the Montreal Canadiens were playing, of course, they're out of the playoffs, so too bad, so sad. But the lady who did the singing of the national anthem right at the beginning, probably for the last 2 months, I guess, she was the one singing, and she had a great, great voice and stuff. But she had a real great story behind where she got there, because she actually had, several months ago, open heart surgery and had to have replacement arteries and stuff put in. And she was an inspiration that, you know, her dream was to sing the national anthem for the Montreal Canadiens. And she's a bit of an older lady, and this was her dream since she was in her early 20s. And what I loved about her story is that she didn't give up on the dream. Even though her life could have been taken from her, she knew that this was her dream to follow, to sing the national anthem for the Montreal Canadiens. And they actually took her clips, the doctors, and that's what they would go around and show all the people who were waiting in Montreal to have open heart surgery on that ward, and where everyone's, you know, recovering from the surgery. And that's how they inspired everyone, was that he just went around with a little iPad and showed them, hey, she was here a couple months ago, and look what she's doing now. Like, don't give up on you. You can, you know, you can do whatever your heart's desire. And okay, tears again. Just because something, a story like that just, you know, inspires me, and I cry even at commercials.
Well, it just shows you're real when you cry. I was just, as you were talking, I was thinking of this ad I had an ad out, and somebody was responding to it, and it was this young girl who said she does so and so just to cover expenses through school, and she was going on to say how she would be very good for our team because this is what she does. And then towards the end she said, and I really believe in myself. And I answered her back and I said, that's the key. You have got the key. I mean, you're so young. If you believe in yourself, you're going places, girl. So it's just so inspiring to hear these young kids who are graduates and stuff and say, I believe in myself and I can do this. So.
Yep. And we talked about this yesterday too. I can't remember where it was, but kind of like, what were your dreams as a kid? Like, those dreams can come true, you know?
Yeah.
Think back to childhood aspirations that you wanted. I mean, I think one of our other leaders had asked this, I think it was Keisha, and she said, like, what's your dreams, and are you going to live them? And I'm like, I am right now. I mean, my dream is to be speaking in front of thousands of women, and I believe as we're speaking, this is obviously coming true.
Yes.
So let's go on to the next principle. I love this one too. And of course, it's about Robert Allen, another one of my favorite people. This is principle 44, find a wing to climb under. Study anyone who's great, and you'll find that they apprentice to a master or several masters. Therefore, if you want to achieve greatness, renown and superlative, wow, I love the tongue twister, success, you must apprentice to a master. Robert Allen, self-made millionaire and co-author of the book, The 1 Minute Millionaire, which I have and is an awesome book, by the way. Despite some of the best information available on how to accomplish any task, most people still tend to ask their friends, neighbors, co-workers, and siblings for advice on key issues they may be facing. Too often, they ask the advice of others who have never triumphed over the specific hardship they are facing, or who have never succeeded in their specific area or endeavor. As I pointed out in Principle 9, success leaves clues. Why not take advantage of all the wisdom and experience that already exists by finding a mentor who has already been down the road you are traveling? All you have to do is ask. One of the main strategies of the successful is that they constantly seek out guidance and advice from experts in their field. Make a list of people you would like to ask to mentor you. Approach them and ask for their help. Determine in advance what you want from a mentor. Though it may seem daunting at first to contact successful people and ask for ongoing advice and assistance, it's easier than you think to enlist the mentorship of those who are far above you in the areas in which you'd like to succeed. What mentors do more than anything, says famed speaker and best-selling author Les Brown, is to help you see possibilities. In other words, mentors help you overcome possibility blindness, both by acting as a role model for you and by conveying a certain level of expectation as they communicate with you. When Les started his speaking career in the early 1980s, he sent a cassette tape of his earliest keynote speech to the late Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, the world-renowned speaker and publisher of Guidepost magazine. That cassette tape led to a long and fruitful relationship for Les, as Dr. Peale not only took Les under his wing and counseled him on his speaking style, but he also quietly opened doors and helped Les get important speaking engagements. Suddenly, though Les was a virtual unknown in the circuit, speaker bureaus began calling him for bookings, even raising his rate to $5,000 per speech from the modest $700 Les had been charging. As Les recounts the story, Norman Vincent Peale was the first person to tell Les he can make it big in the speaking industry. He spoke more to my heart than to my mind, said Les. While I was doubting myself, my abilities, my lack of education, and my background, Dr. Peale said, "You have the right stuff. You have everything it takes. Just continue to speak from your heart and you will do well." That's when Les realized the value of having a mentor. And though their relationship consisted only of brief phone conversations and Les's occasionally trailing after Dr. Peale to learn his speaking style, in the end it meant more to both men than they knew at the time. During his last public speech at age 95, Dr. Peale used one of his protégés' oft-repeated phrases, "Shoot for the moon, because even if you miss, you'll land among the stars." Perhaps, like Les, you just need someone to open doors for you. Or perhaps you need a referral to a technical expert who can help you build a new service for your company. Maybe you simply need validation that the path you're pursuing is the right one. A mentor can help you with all of these things, but you need to be prepared to ask for specific advice. I'm just going to see how long this is. So this is actually quite a long one. Should we stop there?
Sure, that's a good place to stop. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Uh,
I'm just writing it down for tomorrow. Do your homework.
yeah, and I love Les. I mean, Les is so real, right? And he's so true by what he's talking about finding a mentor, because sometimes all we need is for somebody who has made it big to tell you that they believe in you. And I know that has been a big part of it. And I know Keisha Bass is just so good at that. She just, I believe in you. You can do it. And she'd
Yeah.
compliment and she'd message, and and that just even when you don't feel like anything is happening, you just keep going, because that's what keeps you going, is because that's what they've been through and they know how it is. So if they encourage you and they tell you how much they believe in you, that they speak to you.
Yeah. And I think too, what's really helped both of us in the last couple of weeks, as we've been growing and our team has been growing, both of our teams, it's the fact that we're just consistent.
Yes.
We're not doing anything that's any big magic one type of a thing. We're both consistent with, because we both work with an eBay company, we're both consistent on doing our listings and reaching out to people who want to learn this, because I know that both of us are passionate that this is working for so many women. That's where our hearts are at, and women who they just need that little bit extra.
Yeah, for sure. And this getting together every morning to mastermind has just really taken off for me. I mean, you can speak for
Yeah.
yourself, but for me, since I've started this, I just feel like I've been growing leaps and bounds just because we get together, we share our strategies, and we talk to each other. I mean, we're accountable partners as well, I mean, Jody, but it's just when you're with a group of women who just have so much knowledge and we can share it with each other and it manifests in each other, that just I think that's why we're at the level that we're at, and that's why we feel like we're just going to explode any minute, because success is here, we're touching it.
Yes.
So hi Sharon, how are you?
Oh, we can't hear you. There she goes.
Okay, here I go. Good morning, ladies. How are you doing today?
Good.
Um, Look like I came in at a very, very good point. I like that, Diane. We're about to explode thing. I think we all are on the verge of to explode, and we all looking for the opportunity that we've been waiting for, working together with like-minded individuals who might be strong in one area but weak in another, but your teammates are stronger in that area. And so we mastermind and work with one another so that we all will achieve the goals that we have set out to achieve. Um, it's just awesome. And I enjoy working with these ladies every day. I learn something new every day.
Me too.
Yeah.
We love working with you. I
And
remember.
and that's
Go ahead.
sorry. And that's actually what we were just speaking about, is finding mentors who can guide us. And when Diane and I became accountability partners, we made a pact that we're going to do just exactly whatever the leaders are doing. So they don't know it. Maybe they do, but we made this pact with each other that we're not going to reinvent the wheel. Whatever they do, we're going to do. And
Exactly.
just by being consistent with that, that is where I think a lot of people get it into their heads, well, you have to do this or you have to do that. No, you don't. Take the hard stuff out of the way. Find someone who is doing exactly what you want to do, who's successful at it, and pattern yourself after them, and you will be successful. It's pretty simple.
Exactly.
Hello? Anybody home?
And the amazing part about that is it just takes all the stress out of it too, and success just happens because you're following somebody else and you're not trying to reinvent the wheel. But I
Yeah.
was thinking of something that Rachel Kelly shared with us a while ago, and she said there are so many people out there that want what we have right here, is to get together and mastermind. And they just don't have access to it. And I hope there's somebody out there watching today who can feel and know that you're welcome to join us. We still have room on our panel. If you want to come join us and mastermind with us on a daily basis and grow like we're growing, we definitely welcome you. Get back to the person that invited you and ask them, how do I get to be part of this? How can I be part of the group?
And I think that so many, you know, Diane knows that in the last couple of days, I've really been working on who is my ideal client, you know, because this isn't for everybody. And one of the things that I had actually written that keep people up late at night is the fact of lack of leadership. That is something that when somebody joins something, and even actually my 2 signups that were yesterday, I had phone conversations with them, which was, by the way, something I swore I would never do because I was at the point I was just so exhausted of, you know, selling, calling, selling, teaching, selling, you know, oh, I just have a question. And I was so exhausted with that I just thought, I don't want to speak to anybody. I do not want to do that. And you know what? I changed my mind about that too because of something Rachel Kelly had said, which when you do sign up a new person or they do have questions, why are you afraid to talk to them? And so yesterday I stepped out of my comfort zone and I spoke on the phone to both these ladies, and this was the one thing that came up for them and why they wanted to speak to me in person. And actually kind of funny that 2 people said this within a matter of half an hour of each other, but they said, are you going to be there for me? I want to join your team, but I really want to know that you're just not going to leave me high and dry and let me flounder around by myself. We want an assurance that you are going to be here. And so that is really what keeps people up at night right now, especially joining all these businesses that are out there, is they want to join people who are willing to take the time to be the mentor and say, this is what you do. After you're done it, phone me back.
Yeah, and it's so true because the internet is taken over by all these people who are promising the world and promising overnight millionaires, and it's just not there. And there's so few of us that actually are willing to give value and to say, okay, I can help you. I can show you what I'm doing. You can follow us as we go. That it's just, I think for a lot of people, it's just an eye-opener because when you phone them back or they phone you and a real person answers, they're like, oh, you're real. There's a real person. So
yeah.
And you know, the other problem too, Diane, the people that make these promises sometime, and then when you get on the phone to try to talk to, get someone on the phone or to answer an email, they won't return your phone call, so you know you feel left out. So how do you get your questions answered? How do you get, I mean, they might have training, but how do you get your particular question answered? And sometimes they want to talk to that real person. I am one too, Jody, that said I do not want to talk on the phone. But you know, if the opportunity arises, I will talk on the phone and answer any question that they may have, because you're right. What are you afraid of? If you are doing what they are striving to do, you should help them. You should provide them the information that they need, or have a training center, a training site that they can go to where you have answered almost 99.9% of the questions, and you can direct them to that as well. But if they don't find what they're looking for there, don't be afraid to get on the phone and talk to them if that is what they need.
Mm-hmm.
And at least you know they're interested because they're taking action and they're getting a hold of you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the other thing too,
don't put your phone number out unless you expect to get called.
exactly. Exactly. And the other thing too, if you do have a training site put together and you direct them there first in your communication, and then they still cannot find the answer, you should be willing to talk to them. But hopefully when you get on the phone with them, you can tell whether or not they have already went through the training or not, and really serious about taking their business to the next level. and not wasting your time and hoping that you would just sit there and hold their hand when they need to be the one to be in charge of their own future by going through the training that is provided for them. And if they can't get what they want from there, they should have the opportunity to come to you.
Absolutely. Hi, Scarlett. How are you?
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Good morning.
I have a, interesting with my sponsor. I've never talked to ever. I think I've gotten one email, but
Oh, wow.
enough private investigating goes that I figured out that my sponsor's sponsor is Keisha. So that really helped because I reached out to her and she called me and we spent an hour on the phone and she really helped me kind of get everything started when I first started. And, there's something to be said about that as well. And I think it brought to her attention because shortly after that she put a post, anybody who's in my downline, please let me know if you haven't been contacted, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah. I agree. We are with an amazing group of leaders who are just incredible, I think.
I'm excited. I just found out Reginald is going to be here in Tampa Saturday, and I get to go bowling with him. I'm so excited.
All right.
I know. I can't wait. I'm trying to get my, little group I have together to go.
All right. Well, congratulations.
Oh, I have a sponsor who's down there too. I should let them know.
Yes, definitely. There's an invite. Look for it, or if you want, I'll tag you in it.
Okay, that sounds awesome. Well, I think we're just going to wrap up the end here. Do you want to do that, Di, or do you want me to?
Sure, since I'm leading today, I'll do it. Thank you, ladies. That was awesome. I think this was a great time of talking and learning and masterminding together. If you're out there and you're watching us and you come across, even if you come across this as a replay, contact us if you have any questions or anything like that. And I should actually go check and see if I have any questions here on the panel. Hang on one sec, guys.
I do not see any.
I don't see any either. Okay. So
it must mean we're just amazing.
That's right. Absolutely. So we would like to give a shout out and welcome you to come join us if you are in the need of somebody or a mastermind group, or if you need anything out there that you're stuck with, just get a hold of us. We are the Fearless Online Entrepreneurs. That means we are fearless, and we're working harder at that than ever. So we're here every day at 12 Eastern Time from Monday through Thursday, and we do reading for a while, and then we do the masterminding sessions. So if you would like to have the book that we're reading from, Jack Canfield, get back to the person that you have that has invited you, and they can help you with that as well. If not, just go and maybe Google it, and you can find it on Amazon. It is a very, very good thing to follow along and read these books and follow them and make some habits. Make some habits that will help you improve in your life, and you will find your business will just start to soar, just like ours has. So it was a pleasure being with you, and thank you for coming on with us, and we will see you tomorrow. It's Thursday. Yes, same time, same place. Bye for now.